Hi everyone, it's Tasha Dave here again, and I'm back for another crafty video. So, this is the same day as I filmed the other bit, but just a bit later on. Sorry, my last video, just a bit later on. I'm going to try and do this in one take without coughing. Fingers crossed. I just had to go and lie down and just prepare myself. But I've been wanting to show you this since before Christmas. It's an idea I came up with. It's another one of those sleepless night jobs where I didn't, I was not because I wasn't sleeping, but because I wasn't sleeping because I was thinking. So like I was thinking about making this. That's the reason why. So I wanted to show you this. It's another kind of Dennison box style thing, but it's a bit more utilitarian. It's made from, wouldn't you know it, an Amazon packaging, so it's a great thing to do this time of year because we've probably all got loads of bits of Amazon packaging that we keeping around just in case we want to make something. So if you want to make it this size, you can make it whatever size you like, but I'm going to show you this size. I'm not going to fuss and faff too much over it in this video because I just wanted to show you. I was excited to show you because I've not been feeling very well. I just want to be able to do it and show you, and we'll move on to another thing next time, hopefully, and I'll be feeling better by then. I will be filming that on a different day. The reason why I wanted to crack on is if I don't do anything, I'm not going to sleep tonight because I've slept for 3 days basically, so I feel like a hedgehog. I'm started hibernating. Okay, so I did have to cut it. I'm sorry, I had to cut it because I was coughing. So, so some of the things I did on this, I probably won't be doing in this video, which is filing over it because that'll make me cough, and I don't know where my, or actually I do know where it is. I've got a little thing here for putting over my face for when I have bronchitis and it stops me from coughing. So if I feel like I'm up to it, I'll do it. So. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to make this box, which is, it measures 2.5 inches this way by 5.5 inches, by 5 inches this way, and is it 5? I don't know whether it's 5, Dave. It's not, it's 3. Don't listen to me. It's 2.5 by 3 by 1.5. Okay, so 2.5 by 3 by 1.5. I just like this size. It felt very utilitarian. It felt like it should be just sat on a shelf with like some things in it. Okay, so to make that, we're going to use 2 pieces of card. Now, I'm not going to use my scoreboard that has a lid and a base. I'm going to show you how to make it without having a lid and a base score lines. I'm just if you were scoring with no scoring tool, or if you was you were scoring with just a standard one. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to cut 2 pieces of card. The base, which is this one, is slightly smaller, and this measures, so as you can see, this is the inside of the packaging, so that's that colour that we want on the outside, and the outside of the packaging will be on the inside. So, and people will love you for having recycled all of that Amazon packaging, and then they'll be bringing you theirs. So, sorry, I apologise for that. So, the lid measures 5.5 inches by 8 inches, okay, and the base measures 5 3/8 by 7 7/8, okay, and that just takes off 1/8 all the way round just so that they fit inside. So we're going to start with the base. And so if you start with the base, you know where you are, and you're going to put it on your scoreboard, or if you don't have a scoreboard, you're just going to score with a scoring tool or the back of a pair of scissors and a ruler. But I'm going to use a score because I'm trying not to make it too difficult for myself because we want to get through this without coughing. So, well, again. So I'm going to score it at 1.5 inches all the way around. So I'm just going to score it, turn it, score it, turn it, score it, turn it. Not turnip, just turn it. Okay, so that's that. Oh, sorry, we're making a bigger one. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. So for some reason, I've gone up. I've made it bigger. I don't know why I'm making it bigger. Why? What? This is 2 by 3, and this is 2.5 by 5. Yeah, so it was the sizes that I told you, but that's not what that measures. Anyway, I'm was gonna start again, but no, I'm not. I'm gonna just carry on. So it's not going to be this size. It's going to be a slightly bigger one. Okay, so just ignore me. I'm not well. So again, this is the lid. This time we're going to go at 1.5 all the way around. 1.5. I'm having a hot sweat at the minute, so all the way around, and that's it. We've done those. So you need to put your scoreboard away. Okay. So to get this bit on the end, like you're probably not even listening to me now because I don't even know what I'm talking about. Get this bit on the end. What you need to do is you need to cut them so you're cutting up from the shortest point. So have the shortest bit facing you, and like it's probably a good idea to remember which one is which. Okay, especially if you're unwell like me. So I'm just going to write on this bass because it's all about the bass. There's no treble in this. So he's always a flaming comedian. So even when you're not well, Dave, you're trying to make other people laugh. So you're just going to cut up, yeah, from with the shortest bit towards you, and you're just going to cut. And you're going to cut that. So where you've got the slight furrow, you're going to cut that off on the tab, okay, and then you're going to cut that out. So you're just going to cut that little channel out where the divot is from the score line. You're going to just go up to that line and snip, and then you'll get that very small space. Yeah, so one of the reasons for me doing this video is because if I don't do anything, I'm not going to feel tired enough to sleep, and I need to sleep because the night times are the worst times for when I'm coughing. So just turn it round however many degrees that is. Normally I would know, but my brain doesn't work. 180 degrees, Dave. Yeah, 360 is all the way round. You don't have to worry about this being too accurate because the beauty of this box is that it loves the inaccuracy of life. It loves the imperfection just like I do. And then you're just going to snip those off. I just bend them round to the back and snip them off. Okay. So once you've done that, that's your lid because this says bass on it. So, and we're going to do the same again on our bass. So unlike normally when you make a box, you'd put the flaps on different directions. We're making this look utilitarian, so we want it to look utilitarian. So we want it to look like it's been made, mass-produced, no faffing, no fancy, just you get what you're given, it does its job, and that's it. So no frills. So and then like I say, just turn it around 180 degrees. Now we know how many degrees that is, Dave, and then snip it. So and just snip them down. So just take them off. So you know me, I'm never perfect, and so celebrate the imperfections. Didn't get the measurements right. We're not making this size. It's going to be slightly bigger, but you know how to make it, and you can make it whatever size you like. So anyway, so now we've done all of that, what we need to do is you just need to put in all of those score lines. So you know when I said move your scoring tool, bring it back to put your score lines in. And you just want to score all of those in, do all of the or do them all in one direction and then the other direction, or do them however you like, it doesn't matter. So this is the base, so we're making the base first, because that's the bit that you start at the bottom. You build a house, you start with the foundations, so, and it also helps you to know where you are. So this is the base. Okay, so what we're going to have is we're going to fold these end bits up, and these are going to fold in, but what they're not going to do is they're not going to cross over like this, because that would just be a boring box. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look, and we'll say, okay, so this needs to be cut off about there, well, a little bit shorter than there, and then you flip it over and you flap it over, and you do that on the other one, and you say about there. So, but so that it don't like meet in the middle, you're not just going to cut the difference off. I'm not making any sense. I realise I'm not making any sense. What you could do is you could like measure in and cut it down so that they met in the middle, but we're not going to. If you do it like this, these won't meet in the middle. There will be this size gap, and that's what we want. We want it to look that utilitarian style. Let me just cut that off and you'll see what I mean. So if we cut this down, so we either do there or shorter than there. We don't do longer, because we want it to look like a utilitarian box. And then when you put them together, you'll see that they don't fit in the middle. So we're going to do that on the other side. Again, we're going to line them up like that, put a line, flip it over, do the other side, put a line. Okay. And then we're going to cut that one off. And that one. Okay, cool. So now what we want to do is we want to make them a bit more rounded. So if you have a corner punch that is a small one that will get in there, then use a corner punch like I'm going to use. But you might not be able to do it on this corner. It depends on how big your corner punch is. If you haven't got enough give there, then if you don't, then just cut it. Just put a rounded bit on. Doesn't have to be perfect, because it's utilitarian and it's just not perfect. That's what we like about utilitarianism, the imperfections of it. So they don't have to match, they can be different shapes, it doesn't matter. Just look, you see I didn't even clip that off properly, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, that's not even the right shape, but we don't care, because why? Well, you're right, yeah, because it doesn't matter. We are doing better than other people, so put it that way. Okay, and just clip it, and just do that on all the corners. You can always reshape it if you don't like it. Like they're a bit jagged, might not like that. Might want it a bit more rounded. So just use your scissors. If you don't have a corner rounder as well, this is perfect. Okay, so the other thing I'd like you to do is just cut it down so it's a little bit short. So it doesn't. If you look at the end of mine, they kind of don't quite meet the top and the bottom on all the bits, because we're going for that utilitarian look. So you can cut it down a bit. If you don't like it, then cut it down. Right, I'm going to have to turn that around because I can't cut with my left hand. I can cut my left hand, but it'd be off, like a single action. And that's probably not a good idea. You know, at the moment, it's definitely not, because how am I going to get myself to the I was going to say the news agents, but they're not going to help me. The hospital with no hand. So we want it to look. Okay, so that's it. That's those. Okay, so we're just put that to one side because we've done the base. Now we're going to put in all of these. All the folds one way, all the folds the other. Oh dear. I feel like I'm going to cough, but I'm trying to suppress that cough. Nobody wants that. Like, I could break the sound barrier, let alone your eardrums. So, not in the speed that I move, I don't mean. So, I'm definitely not going to break the sound barrier that way. So again, cross them over, put a line, flip them over, put a line. So because this is the lid, it's going to be slightly bigger, and so the bit that you're going to cut off is probably not going to be as big because the box is slightly bigger. You know what I mean? Because it's an 1/8 of an inch bigger. Okay, so now we're going to cut those off. Me with my shaky hands. I feel so weak. I'm telling you, I after my last video, I had to go and lie down, and I needed to go and get some more water. Like, just getting downstairs was like, well, I wanted somebody to come and rescue me. I needed a St. Bernard, but I'm here on my own, so there's no St. Bernards to rescue me. A St. Bernard, I don't know if they do any rescuing anymore. Do they use St. Bernards to rescue mountain dogs? Like, they don't rescue mountain dogs. They are mountain dogs. No, I think they're mountain. I don't know what they are. They're very big, I know that. And there used to be one called Schnorbits. They used to carry a whiskey barrel or a brandy barrel around its neck. So I don't want. You can keep your brandy or your whiskey. I don't want any of that, thanks. So just cutting those down a bit because they're the ones that are going to be on the outside, and I want them to look even less perfect because they're on the outside. And you're going to see these more. So we're going to snip all of these corners off and make them rounded. And like I say, then this corner cutter does its own thing. Sometimes it cuts corners, sometimes it literally does not cut any corners. It's cutting corners by its attempt to cut corners. I don't know why it doesn't always work. Bizarre. Maybe I don't just get it in the groove, because we know that they've got to prove, that's why. So, anyway, stop singing now. Well, I'm not even singing, but stop quoting lyrics, lines, I just never, no. Yeah, just stop doing that, Dave. Stop it. So I'm going to make these look a little bit less perfect. Well, they weren't perfect anyway, but like even less perfect than they were. And this is where the devil is in the detail, and like this is my problem. I spend too much time trying to put detail into things. That's why I like that kind of look of like authenticity. So I might leave that one like that. That'll do. Yeah, so then what we're going to do is so this is the lid, so we'll just put that over there because we know it's the lid then. Okay, so as you'll notice here, I've got these staples, okay? So these aren't actually holding the box together. They're a bit of trompe-l'oeil, I think that's what it's called. And you'll see that these are rusty and these aren't. They're not actually rusty. So I'll show you what I did for them. So I got my little stapler, which is here. And what I did, so this is the base. Let's do the lid because this is the one we want to focus on having the rusty nails on, the rusty staples on. I just stapled them in with a kind of a wonky kind of look to it, okay? You can kind of put them in different places or whatever. Yeah. And all I did with these are just ordinary staples, but all I did was I coloured them with a bit of alcohol ink before I put them in the stapler. And then what I did then was I took I've got a little tiny brush here which has been abused and seen better days, etc. And I used this to create a bit of a kind of a rusty finish. And what I did was I just took some of my alcohol inks. It wasn't specific in like, oh, this is the right colour or whatever. I just took whatever I'd got. I've mainly only got browns anyway, so, and I just blobbed a bit on. This is just a piece of acetate, because it's easier to clean the acetate than it is to clean the mat. So as we've established, that my old mat was terrible. So, and then all I did was I just picked up a bit and just kind of made a little bit of a mix, and then I just, because it's a very fine paintbrush, I think I might have to come up to you, and hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing if I put that there. And all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go over the surface of it, almost like when they get wet and it just bleeds into the cardboard. Look at any book or magazine with rusty nails in, and they just get, probably better if you don't have such shaky hands, Dave, but they always go a bit like the rust bleeds into the background. So even when you've taken them out, the rusty staples, they're still visible where they used to be. So, like I say, you're just gonna just dab a bit. So, like, obviously, it's better if you don't have a shaky hand and you're not trying to hold it up to the camera. Just dab it. Now, I didn't bother doing that on the inside ones. All I did was I just stapled them with the staples, and then what I did do was I just flattened them a bit. So I took a metal ruler and I just flattened it down a bit so they don't stick out quite so much, because they always have like a bit of a rounded back to them. They don't stick out so much, and that way then the box goes together a bit better. So then what you're going to do is you're going to assemble the box. So all you're going to do is you're literally going to glue these onto there. So before we do that, we'll ink it with, I've had to get a new dauber, so they're never as good to start with because they're picking up the ink on themselves first. So I just go around all the little edges first. I didn't mind having the interior looking a bit newer because it hasn't seen the light of day. So this is how my brain works. It has to be kind of like that realistic look. So I've just inked that bit on that side. You're not going to see it, so don't bother. It's because my brain wasn't working. I'm just going to ink all the way round. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed at the moment, so just bear with me. But getting through this. So, and then all of the creases, put a bit on, and I always think the base is going to get quite a bit of wear and tear on, so I always go heavy on the base things and the corners, so you can go heavy on those, because the corners are the bits where they slide up inside the box, and they're always going to pick up any kind of dirt or dust or whatever. So once I've done that, I'm just going to go in and go over it a bit more with a raw ink pad, and then just a bit of a crazing on the bottom. Makes it look like it's been slid over a shelf a few times. And don't worry, that will soften off as the ink dries. So, and what we're going to do is we're just going to glue these bits in. So just tuck in your flap, and then I just put a bit of glue. Trying to shake it too much down because it's very liquid in there, and I'll just, it is going to come out now. So just put some glue on the tabs. There's way too much glue on there, on both of them really, but never mind, I'll take it off. And then we're just going to fold it in, and we're going to glue it. And we're going to glue it and make it look like it's meant to look. So if you want to just curl it a little bit, don't curl it too much, it's the inside one, so you don't want to make it so that you can't put the two bits together. And if you are going to curl it, just ink it now. So stupidly, this glue is not gluing. This is my tacky glue, but it's not doing very well because the weather's not been great. So it's very cool in the UK. Cool, cold. Euphemism for cold. Cool. So perhaps using more than I probably should, but never mind. There's nobody's telling me what I can do and what I can't do. So pegs are great because pegs mean I can peg them and get on. Okay, so this is our lid. So because it's our lid, I'm just going to put a divot in either side. So I'm going to use a circle punch, and I'm just going to put a little divot in. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Go back. Take that one out. That's just almost went in my mouth. That. There we go. It's great having everything to hand. I absolutely love having my new setup. So, and then this one I'm going to go a bit heavier on. So I'm not even going to bother with the other ink pad at the minute. Sorry, the dauber at the minute. I'm just going to do the full on straight in there. Just be careful you don't get and then end up getting that all over everything. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of add a bit of colour to this. So I'm going to use a bit of gathered twigs, I think this is. I'm just going to add a bit of colour all over it now because I can. Because it's going to lend itself to looking a bit mucky. I could do with leaning on something that means that I'm not getting my mat dirty. Let's use this. Again, round the thumb holes, I always think that you're going to have a bit more dirt, so I kind of come in from the edge and just lean my blending tool back like 40 degrees or 45 degrees. I don't know. It's not perfect. I'm not going to get a compass out and measure whether it's 40 degrees or 45 degrees or even 30. You can if you wish. Just don't measure me. Mine. Oh, Dave, sure, Dave, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to have to have a drink, I'm sorry. See, trying to get through this without having to stop. So remember that you're not going to see these bits, but you will see the bit in the middle because that's where the bits come together, and you might see a little bit hanging out from the top and the bottom. So I'm just going to concentrate on those areas. So if now, once you've done that and you think, well, you can't really see that ink that I put on for the this alcohol ink, then you can always go over it again. It's absolutely fine. So, right, what I am going to do now is I'm just going to put this on because I will make myself cough if I try and do any sanding without this on. So I might go a bit muffled, I'm afraid. And I'm just going to sand it a bit. So just on those those edges just to break it down, to make it look a little bit more authentic. You know, I like that kind of authenticity. You do you, though. So I've gone in with all the kind of dark colour, sanding some of that off now, but leaving some of it on. That's a bit one of those divots that we cut out the corner, so all adds to the fun of it. In around that thumb hole thing, because that's going to have seen some wear. And now this packaging really kind of lends itself to this now, because now you've got it a little bit wet, it will start to break apart. You don't want to make it, you don't want to destroy it, obviously. You're going to just take advantage of that gorgeous agedness. I would say it's easier to breathe in this, but it's not. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed at the moment, so I wish I hadn't started this, but I can't do it without finishing it now. So okay, so now I've done that, let's get rid of those bits. Okay, so now I've done that, I'm going to go in and put some, I don't know, I'll put some this tea dye on it, because it's not quite as dark. It's got much more of a warm tone to it. And I know you could do this when you've made the box, and that's fine, you can add a bit more, but I like to go in and do all of the fussy bits now and add more when I've finished, well, more when I've assembled the box than trying to do it all when I've assembled the box. You see how it's just a bit warmer, it's a bit more orangey kind of tone to it, and I always think that looks a little bit more like, I'm sorry to say this, but you know, we all have like oil in our skin. It looks a bit more like the oil that we leave behind when we've been doing anything, when we've thumbed things millions of times. A well thumbed book will always have that bit more orangey yellow oily look. Okay, so there we go, that's that bit done. Let's put that. So, and again, I'm just going to go in and add a bit more definition. No, I'm not with that. That's dry. I'm leaving the mask on for a minute because there's still particles in the air, and I don't want to suffocate, strangely. Although I can't see because my glasses are steamed up, so I'm just going to have to take them off for a minute. And you do as much or as little as you like. You don't have to even have to make the staples look rusty. You don't even have to put staples in it. You could use like rivets or paper fasteners or whatever you like, really. Okay, so let's assemble this one now. So, right, I'm going to take the mask off. And hopefully it's not too dusty. I'm not going to breathe in too hard though. So, always when you're making a box, try and put the base inside the lid, and then you're going to get one where it fits. Okay, so I'm going to just glue these tabs. Brian will absolutely kill me because he's coming to see me later, and like he'll tell me off for having overdone this, trying to don't want to leave anybody in the lurch with no video. So that's why I'm doing it. Take one for the team, isn't it? So in it, Dave. Don't say in it like that. You're not a school kid. So once that's all glued in and stuck down, which it won't be because this glue for some reason doesn't want to ever dry ever again now, because it's decided no, I've had it with the whole drying thing. Drying is last year's project. This year's project is stay wet. So we'll just take that out and then just put them in there, because it does dry eventually. You just have to get it to behave. So just remember, your staples at the back are going to stick out. They're going to push your glue surfaces away from each other. So you just want to bear that in mind. So I'm just going to leave that like that. I am going to put a little bit more on these sides. So a little bit of, I think I'll use the tea dye actually, and I might just go over the, just from the movement of the box. Not too much. Just a little bit of colour on all those raised surfaces, and then get this out. Okay, and try and put some definition in where the thumb holes will be. Hopefully this is where the thumb holes will be. And if you want to put more on, put more on. Who are you calling a moron, Dave? I'm not calling anybody a moron. This is the problem with this is the thing I hate about using a new blending pad, is like it just takes so long to build up any colour on it. So half the time you're rubbing on here, it's just sucking it straight into the pad rather than onto the surface that you want it to go onto. So there we go, that's that. Okay, so hopefully this is dry-ish enough, maybe. There we go, that will fit in there, so that fits nicely. There we go, fits nicely in there. And then we can just go in and make it a little bit more. So if you want to peel back some of this, just be careful, because your glue hopefully will have set. Mine probably hasn't. You can just split this, the layers of this packaging. Split it down a bit, Dave. Right, try not to cut anything off, Dave. That's what I was trying to do, get it to split a bit more. We can put a little bit of colour. No, we can't, because it's dry again. That one's probably a bit dark. Put a bit of this on here. Whenever you put some more on, it just re-wets all the rest of it, so it'll just end up picking up all of the colours. But you know, you can put bit of colour on there, and that'll spread a bit. That looks like it's been landed on something and got a bit of, or something's dripped onto it. I'm just going to pick up a bit on that edge there. And if this is way too much intricate detail for you, then you just leave it here and you say, thanks Dave, that was great tutorial. Give it a massive thumbs up and share it with your friends, and then you just, you know, go and make your own thing. But if you prefer putting in tons of detail like I do, then, you know, even when you're not feeling great, you're still messing. So I'm still messing now. So I'm just gonna smoosh of another colour on it. especially on those divot bits. Like I say, just a little smoosh. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a nice label on. Now, I've already made my label, and the reason I've made my label is because I was thinking I don't want to be like messing around for too long, but you know, hey, we still messed around for too long. I hope you didn't think it was too long. So I'm going to glue this onto here. Like I say again, I hope this will glue. So this is my art glitter glue. It's that time of year to change it up for a different thing. I'm going to glue this down. So all I did was I just made a label, scrunched it up, filed it with an emery board, and then inked on the bits where it filed. So, and then I just cut a bit of coffee dyed paper out and put some random stamps on it. So you do you. I'm going to put that on there. And I've got some other little bits and bobs to glue onto it. I think that might be a sticker actually. So, oh dear, this is not going to go well. This is least time when you want a coughing fit, when you're trying to get a sticker off the back of a sticker off. So no coughing fits now, Dave. This is not happening, is it? You've still got nails and you still can't. Oh no, don't know. See, give yourself a bit of credit. So I'm going to stick that on there like that, and then I don't know. Do I want that on there? I might put that one with that. Yeah, I'm going to put that one with that. So I'll put that down here, I think. Yeah. And this is just going to be like, I don't know, our product label or something like that. I'll stick that on there. Oh, no, maybe not stick it on there, because it didn't want to stay there. It has other plans. So, oh no, come on. And you can either stick it on the end, but I didn't stick them on the end because I didn't want it to cover up the nice bit. So you can stick it on the side. There we go. And that's it. So that's another little box. Now, you know I'm becoming a bit known for Dennison Dave. So it might get hashtagged as Dennison Dave. I hope you like it. You can make absolutely any size you like. You could probably even get your glue, the thing back in your glue. Oh, I can, see. Oh, ye of little faith. So, I'm going to go and tidy up. I'm not going to do it now, because if I pull anything off my desk now, it's going to release a whole load of dust, and I'm going to start coughing and spluttering. So, I'm just going to move this out of the way and show you what we did. So, we're making something like this. Size is much bigger, but, you know, that's because I'm an idiot. You don't have to be, though. And then we made this, so I hope you like it. I hope you like the way that I've done the... I keep finding a bit of copper foil on everything these days. I hope you like the way that I did the staples. And don't forget, you can't see them on the inside, so you don't have to do the other side. You might want to put something inside the box. You might want to use... You might want to line it first before you create it, so you don't have all of the Amazon stuff on the inside. But a great way to use up this Amazon packaging. So anyway, I hope you like that. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget, my name is Dash of Dave. I'd really love you to give me a thumbs up for this. Thank you so much for getting everybody subscribed. I'm tantalisingly close to 2,000. I'm at 1977, which was a great year, because I think that was when there was a fantastic British summer and I was the grand age of 8, and I loved 1977. It was a beautiful year. So but I also liked the year 2000, so let's all meet up in the year 2000, as they said in a song, which I won't sing. So alright then, thank you very much for watching. I said I wasn't going to move anything on the desk because of the dust, but I did. And I hope to see you all soon. So don't forget, I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully by then I will be feeling better. Take care, folks. Lots of love. I can feel a cough coming on. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you soon. Oh, I'm going to sneeze as well. All right, then. Take care, folks. See you soon.